Hello and welcome back to Runderground, running every metro system. Now I know that today, we're here at Grosmont, there's no metro system out here, okay? But we are running the entire North Yorkshire Moors Railway from here over to Pickering. It's about 30 kilometres in total. It cuts right through the heart of the North Yorkshire Moors, which I'm very much looking forward to. It is actually my old stomping grounds around here as well, so it does feel very strange to come back and be around here. It's really, really weird. But why is it that I'm even here? Well, welcome to a 1-year anniversary special of Runderground. Now, in case if you don't know, the NYMR, the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, is a heritage railway out in North Yorkshire from Grosmont over to Pickering. Now, they sometimes do services from Pickering out to Whitby. I know sometimes they've done Grosmont to Battersby services and back, but today we're just running the section from Grosmont over to Pickering. I say that like I'm just running that like as if it's a short distance. It's actually quite a difficult run. It's because it's so hilly, you'll see a bit later on. The NYMR has actually been closed for a few days because of filming commitments. Rumour has it, again just a rumour has it, that Harrison Ford is here and he's filming another instalment of Indiana Jones, and they've been doing filming along the railway. But you didn't hear that from me. Shh. Another little tidbit, even though the NYMR was a former railway, but now it's a heritage railway, the fact that where I'm running right now is also a former railway, but then the alignment changed. Now, why was it that the line was relocated? Well, it's because the bridges that were built along this section that I'm running now kept on being washed away by the river. And so the engineers at the time had to keep on rebuilding these bridges. And so they decided that it was best to relocate the line altogether to somewhere a bit more inland. And what's also fascinating about this section here is that not only is there another disused railway line, but there was a third disused line that was used by horse-drawn carriages. And if you take a peek through the woodland, you can see where the former embankment was for the railway for horse-drawn carriages. Just here. So where I am right now, I've just arrived at Beckhall railway station, which is disused. But there are still the former things that are in place. There's also a little information board talking a bit about the station's history and whatnot. Now we are going to deviate away from the old railway line. We are going to drop into Grosmont very shortly. So here at the first station of the day, we're here at Grosmont station. If you're not familiar, part of this station was actually filmed in the Harry Potter film. I think it was the first one, the Philosopher's Stone. Now the line from Pickering over to Grosmont and really over to Whitby did used to be double tracked. However, it is now a single use operation because it is one, cheaper to maintain. But even the section from Grosmont to Whitby, which belongs to National Rail, that was made into a single track in the late 80s because of cost-cutting measures. Just as a heads up, if you ever watched the show Heartbeat, this here was the pub used for filming. But where the NYMR terminates at Pickering, it actually used to continue a lot further on to Rillington and over to Moulton, so it would connect up with the line over at York. There also used to be a curve of track that used to serve trains coming from Scarborough. But back in the day, Pickering, I'm talking about Pickering now, but I'm just enthusiastic, what can I say? Over at Pickering did actually used to be a proper hub back in the day. It used to serve trains going over to Helmsley, trains going over to Seymour, and so it was quite the hub. There was actually a call at one point to extend the NYMR from Pickering over to Rillington to connect with the York to Scarborough line. However, the NYMR said that it would be complicated to run a heritage railway alongside like national rail services, because the intended use was to have both running along it, and it just wouldn't, I don't know, it just wouldn't seem feasible. It's all like shoulda, coulda, wouldas, you know what I mean? It is actually quite the incline to get out of the village, so I'm going to focus on getting that out of the way. At the moment, I'm well and truly away from civilization. I just need to get to the top of that hill there, and then it's a steady descent down to the next station. Growing up in this type of area, I feel like as if I've taken it somewhat for granted when I moved to London. The fresh air and the views, just the views. Absolutely stunning. I need to retrace my steps because I've just lost my bloody transmitter from my camera. God, this is like my worst nightmare. Found it! Found it! Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Whoa! So I made it to Newtondale station, literally in the middle of nowhere on the NYMR. This station is actually a request stop. But to give just a little stats update, so we're 16.06 kilometers in. I think this is about the halfway point now. There's about like 15 kilometers remaining from here. So we should be perfectly on track. Hopefully, we'll see. Oh, that's always a wonderful sign. So here we've got the warning adders. But not subtract. I didn't really notice anything wrong at the time. Oh my god, there's a dead snake. Oh my. What the the bed. I can't tell if you're alive or not. Are you alive? In my whole 28 years of living, I've never seen in the UK a snake before. Oh my. Bloody hell, I'm so sorry for that. When I used to live in Australia, I saw snakes quite a lot. One time there was actually one in my letterbox. Oh. That was always fun. Yeah, in the UK I've never seen an adder before, so that's like... Oh, that got me. 22.19 kilometers, 3 hours and 40 minutes has elapsed. Just made it to Levisham station. So we've got one station left now until we get to Pickering. I do hear the train in the distance, so I might just stick around for a bit, have a little breather. Just 5 hours have ticked over, 31.1 kilometers, and I've got about 1.84 kilometers remaining. Oh god, not good now. There's not long left. Not long left. Back at Rodin Valley. Here we are, just made it to Pickering. Absolutely shattered. So 32.86 kilometers from Grosmont. Absolutely ridiculous. It took me 5 hours 21 minutes, and the time is now 2:10, so I have plenty of time. But I think it's always better to set off early in the morning, because if you set up a bit later, then you get the heat and everything, and contingencies and whatnot. But I am going to find a seat and grab a bite to eat, and also get my train ticket as well. So give me a minute, and I will be right back. Best thing about running to Pickering . Three, two, one. All right, let's go. Let's do this.